Alrighty guys, welcome back to 1822 MC Adventures and More. This is my channel. My name is Pete, and today we're going to talk about my pots and pans. This is part one of what's cooking. Alright, so of course some of you have seen this. If you're new to the channel, maybe not. This is my trusty Cowboy Pot. Made many a pot of coffee with this thing here. It does real well. Well worth the space. Now I don't use this too often, but this is my coffee pot bush pot that I can hang from a tripod, and I'm going to make a point to start using it a lot more, because when you're not using it to cook with or make coffee, it's a great storage vessel. Speaking of coffee, Croton Dark Roast, best coffee in the world. Okay, and of course, we'll start off with our most basic vessel, a canteen cup. Real simple operation here. Canteen cover, vintage canteen, or if you can find them, I believe it's Nalogen, if I'm saying that right, they make a bottle. It's like a duplicate of this. It's translucent, like half the weight, and it holds hot water. But you can find these anywhere and they're cheap. And so what we have in here is the newer style butterfly cup. Real simple procedure here. You just take your butterfly handles, lock them together, you're good to go. Put it on your heat source. You'll have hot water, you can cook with it. Just be careful, because when you scorch your food, it's hard to get it out of the bottom of that. But this is your most basic setup, I would say, if you're doing things on the cheap. Of course, you can always go to Amazon and buy some overpriced stuff. That's just not how I roll, though. You all know that. This is a step up from the butterfly cup. Same canteen pouch, same canteen. This one's from 1979. And this setup is a little more complete. What we have here is a lid that goes to the cup, right? Let me take this apart for you. So you have your stove, right? Put your canteen cup in there like that, and you can either put it over coals, or you can put one of your stinky heat tabs in there and cook away. And it's got a lid. Now I have not put drain holes in here because I think that's kind of stupid personally. I'll just kind of hold it off to the side and drain the water out. That way the lid is still a complete lid. But yeah, this is a vintage canteen cup and a lid and a stove. Now these stoves, we didn't have these when I was in. Now if I remember correctly, the Army was experimenting with those, but they always experiment with the stuff first, and if it looks like it's going to be a good idea and it works for the Army, then they give it to the Marines for final testing, because if a fucking Marine can't break it, it can't be broke. Simplify to all my crayon eating brothers out there. Red's my favorite. Okay, so now let's go to Europe. This is a Serbian Mess Kit. And these are pretty unique. My only bitch is this only got belt loops. It would be nice if it was Molly or Alice compatible, but it's not. It still works great. So we have this old school canvas cover on here. It has a side pouch for your silverware. Still got the guy's name on it, but it's a Serbian type name. I ain't even gonna try to pronounce it. This here comes like this. Alright, you got your serving bowl that you can hook onto your canteen cup like that. Another little bowl for who knows what, salad, whatever, dipping sauces. I don't know. I've used it as a mixing bowl. I've used it for a lot of things. a 1 liter canteen and an extremely heavy duty canteen cup. Cooked quite a few meals out of this. Once you figure out how to use everything, it works pretty good. And you want to put it back together right. Everything slides back in there real nice, and like I said, there's a side pouch to put your silverware in there. And just to remind everybody, my only complaint about this setup is the fact that it's just set up for belt loops. But it's European, not American. This is my newest edition, and this is going to be a work in progress. I'm embarrassed to show you that, but I will anyways. I took a Gatorade bottle and I hot glued the rope to the lid. I couldn't find my hot glue gun, so I did that with a lighter. That's why it looks so crappy. And then a couple wraps of duct tape to hold the cord on. Now I got a lightweight 1 quart canteen. And in this kit right now, I have my spork fork. Little forget what it's made out of. It's not plastic. It's something much more high-tech than that. It's got a nice sharp little knife. Folds into there, and you got your spork. So it works out pretty good. And then this is an old coffee pot, and I put a fishing stringer on here, a stainless steel stringer, so I can hang this from a tripod or whatever. I can boil water, I can purify water, I can actually cook in it, I can do what I want with it. So it's working out pretty good. And it's in one of these newer style canteen pouches. It's got the 2 side pockets. I really like that because you can put tea, salt and pepper, or whatever you want in these pockets. They're a real nice addition. It actually has a flap that goes over the top, but for the way I'm using it, it won't work out that way. So you simply stick your can back in there, stick your spork inside, pull this Y harness up over the top, and you have a lightweight cook set. Alright, next in line, my vintage Boy Scout kit. Kind of set it on the sidelines for a while, but my appetite isn't what it used to be anymore, so a smaller mess kit does have some merit for me again. And if you're not familiar with these things, you take this is your handle, and that's got a nut on it. And here's your plate. Here's a little cook pot and your frying pan. And it works out really good. Nice little setup. They haven't changed this in probably since they invented it. Only the materials change. You can find these in yard sales cheap. Of course, then when you explain to them that it doesn't matter how many nice memories your child has of this, it's an obsolete mess kit and it's really only worth $1 or $2, you know. I have no shame when it comes to crap like that. Learned it from my mom. She's so worse than me. My sister and me, we won't even go rummage sailing or yard sailing with my mom because she's got no mercy on the people. Anyways, Hungarian Mess Kit. Now here's one I really like. Alright, this is a nice one. Alright, you got your little fry pan. You can also heat up soup or something small. It holds a can of soup. It'll hold a can of beans or whatever. It's really nice. And it fries bacon. And then here's your stew pot. Nice sized pot, kettle, whatever you want to call it. But this kit here works out great. I have made some absolutely killer chili in this, and some other odds and ends. If you haven't seen the video, best chili ever at 2,000 feet, scroll on back, you'll find it, and I make some really good chili with this. Alright, For those of you that follow, you know for the most part, I love taking these out. Even though they're heavy, my motorcycle carries them, I don't. And this is my antique number 4 Griswold. It's a nice, lightweight, smooth cast iron. This is a more modern one, no name on it. It's real heavy, but it was one of them rough-coated ones, and I sanded it smooth and makes a nice flat griddle. And plus, if you put something in here and you go like that, and then you wrap it with aluminum foil real good, you got a miniature Dutch oven. And this one here, I'm going to give an honorable mention. Right? It's another canteen pouch, a desert version. Don't like the way a canteen sets in it, but I do like it as a pouch. And so what we got here is we have my GSI cup, which you can cook out of a little bit. Alright. And then in here, I have a rag, a spoon, some oranges, a can of gas, some a north side, that's a Alfredo type noodle thing, I don't remember exactly, can of ham to go with it, and my little pocket rocket stove. You all know what these are. You find them, they're dime a dozen. I bought mine from, guess where? Yeah, that's right, River Country Products. $9.95. It's just a little old stove, just like all the other ones you see on Fleabay and Amazon. And it's a nice little stove. I like it. I don't use it very often because it's kind of hard to cook with these things. I mean, you can, in fact, heat things up and it boils quick. There's no doubt about that. It goes about like that. You can flip these things out for a little bit bigger footprint. Make me look like a retard. There we go. And you got your adjuster right here. And you got your starter button right there. Works great. Folds back down. Flip it around. Turn your little doodad up. Adjusting valve for you perfectionists. Put it back in there. Back in it goes. Can of ham. Can of gas. Oranges, rag, spoon, cup. All right, so it's back together. Now we got the side pocket, right? All right. In here I've got my Army issue pocket knife. It's got a can opener on there, a screwdriver bottle opener, a blade, and like a awl. Works out pretty good. And then in here I got salt and pepper, little finger towels, that sort of thing. At least that's what's in there today. But yeah, I thought I'd give this an honorable mention because for a day hike, like if you're out fishing or whatever, this thing works out perfect. All you need to do is bring a canteen and you're set. So there we go. That's basically my pots and pans that I take out in the woods. Of course, I do this all at once, but now oh, whoops! Look at that. Cut. I knew that didn't go in there right. Alrighty, so there we are, back together, everything back in there. Like I said, for a day hike and you just want to bring you some lunch, this is a great option. Just need that and a canteen. So that's it for my pots and pans, part 1. Part 2 will be what I cook on if I'm not cooking on a fire. So I hope you enjoyed this. I think probably the main point of this is you don't need a big fancy titanium cook set that costs you frickin' 2 weeks' pay. Don't need it. You can find this kind of stuff in yard sales or online. Just shop around before you pull the trigger, because you look around hard enough, you'll find great deals. Like I said, you can find this kind of stuff here in yard sales, because where I live at, I live in a military area. This kind of stuff is very accessible in yard sales. You can always make up your own stuff with a little bit of help of some military surplus. Can never go wrong if you got the room, or if you make room for a cowboy pot. Very well worth it. Bush pot's always nice. So with that being said, I'll see you in part 2.